Once the progenitor of survival horror, Resident Evil, much like its biohazard monstrosities, has morphed and expanded into several genres over the years. But the most dramatic metamorphosis came with the fourth game, an action-focused roller coaster that defined third-person shooters for a generation to come and was critically lauded. It's bewildering, then, that RE5 proved one of the most contentious entries in the series, as it merely continues the lucrative path established. While diehards would be left disappointed by the lack of survival horror tendencies, most could not deny that this was an intense and exhilarating shooter, especially when played with a friend. Set 4 years after the previous game, Chris Redfield is a member of the Bioterrorism Security Assessment Alliance, which serves as a force to deter bioterrorism. He is dispatched to the fictional African region of Kijuju to work with Sheva Alomar, a member of the BSAA's African division. Attempting to intercept a bioweapons arms deal, things go downhill when it's revealed that the locals are infected and turned into Mangini, raving monsters with a thirst for violence. Chris and Sheva must uncover the root cause of this outbreak while confronting ghosts from Redfield's past. Utilising motion capture for cutscenes, the story unfolds nicely into some twisting moments and dark sequences, though the series' tendency for stiff acting and cringe-inducing dialogue is rampant.
Oh, you gotta get it to HQ.
Hey, hang in there.
Resi 5 retains many mechanical elements of its predecessor. While controlling Chris or Sheva from an over-the-shoulder perspective, you can freely move until aiming forces you to stand still. The trademark knife attack is performed by holding down the L1 button and attacking, which is often helpful for conserving ammo, but is a weaker attack. Both characters start with a basic pistol, but you can collect and purchase firearms, explosives, and even melee weapons with currency found as you play. You're often tasked with making your way through hordes of Mangini, with very brief spurts of puzzle solving and dramatic quick-time events. The game proves quite partitioned, with the story divided into dozens of shorter chapters, a likely compromise due to the biggest edition of the game. RE5 is built for co-op in mind, and it's one of the most successful of its kind. 2 players can guide Chris and Sheva through the entirety of the game, and a few neat wrinkles are thrown into the mix. You can trade items, heal each other with herbs, and even resuscitate your partner to prevent death. And while it continues to shed the horror elements of classic Resident Evil, it adds a layer of tension. Frantic struggles force you to prioritise your partner in a mob of Mangini, quick-time events are spread between both players, and brief instances of separate paths are some of the most tense, challenging segments. That being said, the more isolated gamer can enjoy this one fully with the AI, as they prove quite adept at healing, defending themselves, and are always willing to trade items. Whichever side of the fence you sit on, Resident Evil 5 should be considered a fantastic action game, with a litany of memorable set pieces. The intro chapter has you fending off dozens of Mangini in a cramped building, as well as contending with an axe-wielding monstrosity. An intense pursuit has you manning a vehicular turret while fending off motorcycle-riding Mangini and convoy trucks of death. And later chapters put the pedal to the metal, with non-stop action that is visceral and heart-pounding. But there's also a great selection of slower-paced chapters which help you catch your breath, including an intricate marshland which has hidden islands for extra treasure. It's got a decent balance, one which keeps the action from becoming muted. Capcom's shooter would also prove a technical masterpiece. The visuals are simply breathtaking for the gen, with incredible lighting, sun-kissed environments, and some outstanding details. Characters look great, despite some literal huge changes to iconic staples of Resident Evil, and the mocap during cutscenes really improves the motion. The explosions, often tinting the screen with an orange hue that forces you to squint, are very impressive. The Magini have fast animation and varied models, and despite all the action on screen, it manages to mostly maintain a smooth performance. The sound has pros and cons. As mentioned, the voice work and writing can be stiff, but the music is great, with some memorable tracks that both heighten the action and intensity. The guns are potent, the classic RE jingles feel well placed, and the action is ear-ringing. Resident Evil 5 has a ton of meat on the bones too. Though you can finish the campaign in around 10 hours, you can end up, like with the series' best entries, playing through multiple times. Collectible BSAA emblems, sellable treasures, and an unlockable difficulty that will test your skills to the max all add reasons to return. There's a lot of engrossing upgrade systems too, allowing you to enhance the guns you've collected. After fully upgrading them, you can eventually unlock infinite ammo. There are rewards for speedruns, unlockable outfits for both Chris and Sheva, and lots of extra bonuses. Not to mention the prospect of co-op. It's loaded. Resident Evil 5's legacy would prove a divisive one, with controversy stirred by the gaming press and fans of the earlier entries often biting their thumb at this game. However, for the latter camp, a playthrough should clear any doubt in your mind, as Capcom would craft one of the most intense, stunning, and enjoyable action games of the generation. While some oddities with controls and narrative inconsistencies mean it's not quite the top of its class, and it doesn't prove as revolutionary as its predecessor, it's still a treat to explore, especially if you can find a friend to join you. Those who can shed their biases and preconceived notions as to what a Resident Evil game is, should pick it up without hesitation.